Yo, 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 what is up, artists and art fans? Thank you guys for coming into the only spot where we talk to all your favorite Instagram artists about the trade, the tools, and their tips, y'all. I'm your host, the real Zimzima, and you guys are on chatting with Zim. What's going on, y'all? This is episode number 133, and I got a nice special guest for y'all. Her name is, hopefully I don't butcher it, Ninaqueenbee. Aberlein. She is the creator of Sunrise Blossom. If you guys haven't been following the stories that I've been posting up all week, then I don't know what y'all doing. But we got her in here chatting with Zim, so it's going to be great. Actually, I see our guest right now, so let's go ahead and bring her in all the way. I think it's from Italy, but we will verify that shortly. Thank you all for coming in. Everybody else, hopefully your week has been going by just pretty good, I guess. You know what I mean? As far as I could. I see Secreton in there. Comics cast. Hey, Nina, how you doing?
Hiya, I'm fine. How are you?
I am great. Just saying hi to everybody else in here joining us today. Love that. Love the roses. Love the band.
Thank you. I wear them at every event, convention that I attend to. It's easier to remember, I guess.
Okay, that's cool. I'm digging that. And how's your week been going?
Pretty good. Went back to work this week after the holidays. Launched my comic on Kickstarter just yesterday. 100% funded in 2 hours, and it's going great.
Wow.
We are almost at 200% currently.
Oh my God, congrats.
Thank you.
For anybody else just joining us right now, so Sunrise Blossom, there was a Kickstarter. I am a backer.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, since we first met, I went back and I read the entire thing, man. I must have binge watched like 2-3 nights reading all that. It's great. It was so great. Hey, Dan O'Mai, how you doing, man? He says congrats on that. He's another comic creator. Bigfoot Knows Karate. That's who he is.
Oh, I know him. You're friends with Cam. Yeah. Bigfoot Knows Karate is awesome.
Yeah. Great stuff. So I'm waiting in the mail for that, man. I know we had a little hiccup there, but Sunrise Blossom, pretty much it's a coming-of-age story about a harpy named Ivy, for all that don't know. She pretty much gets abandoned at birth, separated by her sister on her way to this school where they teach about the human culture. Pretty awesome story. I dug it, you know what I mean? And I think y'all dig it too. I dug it so much I actually went ahead and supported you on Volume 2. So, yeah, great stuff. And there's lots to talk about here, Nina. There's lots and lots to talk about. Before that, really quick, y'all could find her on not just here, but also on her TikTok, Auberline Comics. Am I saying that right?
Auberline Comics, yes. If you go on linktr.ee/Nina D. Auberline, you'll find all my social media, the TikToks, the Instagrams, the Facebooks, the Twitters, the
newsletter, Discord,
even the freaking Fur Affinity.
Oh my God!
I'm not very active on that, but
hey, it's there. That's what it's for.
Yeah.
That's awesome stuff. So, like I said, first off, thank you so much for coming to Chatting with Zim and joining us.
Oh, and thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. The pleasure's all mine, and I'm pretty sure everybody else tuning in. So if all of y'all have questions, man, make sure y'all get that little question bubble right below. Especially, we got an actual, comic creator here. So if you guys have any questions relating to that or wanting to pick up your own project off the ground, feel free to ask. This is what the lives are for.
Heck, I even went to comic school for this. If I can't answer questions, then what good am I for?
You know what? And that brings us to a great segue. Let's get your origins. I love learning about just how you got into art, what kind of led you into this path, right?
So
So,
everything started one evening when my parents were getting a little frisky. 9 months later, I came out.
oh
Um,
my God. It started from conception, y'all.
well, I guess like many artists, we picked up pencils when we were children and we just never put them down. And when I was roughly in middle school, I started, putting more into this interest. And, I kept on drawing, I kept on drawing, kept on drawing. Lots of how to draw books, YouTube tutorials, lots of really bad Naruto fan art. But everyone starts there, that's normal. Um, then when I graduated high school, I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. So I went to a comic school. 3 years later, I graduated, and I've been creating pretty much nonstop ever since.
That is dope. And we'll get into the schooling part of it because I usually have a lot of questions for people that did attend schooling for art, right? Um, but when it comes down to your origins, right? The how you mentioned everybody as a little kid, or just about every artist that I talk to, it sprang up from childhood. Is there anything that led you to liking art, or is it something that you just one day picked up and was like, hey, I'm gonna go with it? Or was there like some sort of show or something that kind of piqued your interest, family member?
Well, if I have to choose a starting point,
Mm-hmm.
it would definitely have to be my Twilight phase in my first year of middle school. And then I would
Okay,
go
see.
online and look at fan art of my favorite characters and thinking, oh, this is so good. I want to do this too.
Ah, see, there it is. I like that. I knew we'd get to the bottom of this.
So yeah,
That's awesome.
Twilight pretty much.
That's awesome, though. Hey, I can't knock you. I started with like Bugs Bunny and Looney Tunes and stuff like that. So it's cool. It's interesting. I find it interesting learning about, where people just get their inspiration from, right? That little push that kind of led them into doing what we do, right?
Yeah, shirtless werewolves.
Oh, and sparkling vampires. You know what I mean? My daughter, she bought some lotion the other day, and it came, it had like glitter on it. So she put it on, and she's over here sparkling. I'm like, man, little one, you look like the vampire from Twilight here with that twinkling skin here. But, but no, that's cool. That is so awesome. Um, Going into the whole schooling thing, um, tell us a little bit more about that. What school did you attend? Was it like an online course or a physical school? And was
Eh,
it worth it?
Good question. It was a physical school. The school that I attended was the comics school. Like, that's literally what it's called, the comics school. And they call themselves international because they have one branch in the United States. But really, they're just an Italian comic school. Like, they've got, like, I don't know, 8, 9 branches in Italy, and one in the US. That's about it. And it was a 3-year course, but it wasn't, like going to school every day. It was just a few times a week, like 3-4 hours per lesson, a couple times a week, with a lot of extra activities if you wanted to participate in. Because it was fresh out of high school, and many of the students also had jobs. So it was something that they could do, while maintaining themselves. And it was good. I learned a lot. Was it worth it? I mean, if it weren't for the fact that this was when I was still a teenager, so my parents were paying for it, then no. But because my parents paid for it and I didn't have to pay anything, luckily, and I am very, very, very grateful for that, then I am grateful of all the things that I learned. But I mean, like, Compared to many upper schools in the United States,
Mm-hmm.
especially art schools, it's super cheap.
Okay.
But considering standards here, it was rather expensive because it was something like 2,500 euros a year, which
That's like a
here,
bunch of money in U.S. money. I don't.
oh, that's something like, I don't know, $3,000
Oh,
or
okay.
so.
Yeah. All right.
So like considering it was like a course that was like mostly a couple of weeks. So my parents were spending something like, I don't know, 300 euros a month on this. It was really expensive. And also the learning was very slow kind of because of how the program was structured.
Mm-hmm.
But it was also like really expensive considering this kind of stuff that we were learning. Like it was, I was able to learn a lot, and my skills improved also immensely thanks to it. You know, my composition, lettering, character design, everything. It really helped a lot. But so does YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah.
So honestly, uh, mentorship programs or like having mentor artists are often just as helpful, if not more helpful, and a lot cheaper, if not free.
Mm. Yeah, and that's a good point that you bring up. You know, a bunch of news. Well, just about everything you could find on YouTube now and stuff. You know, how to change a damn tire to, how to build and market yourself, right, as whatever it is. So that's interesting though. And especially going to a school like that at a young age, that's pretty dope. I've never had schooling, but a lot of artists. I've talked to artists, so I get kind of half and half, right? Yes, it's worth it. Yes, they teach you structure and this and that, and how to draw from real life. And others are like, you could do without, right? Cool, cool.
Yeah.
Um, Now your English is extremely well.
Oh,
Were
it's my
you
first language.
okay? Okay, and
I'm
I
actually
have to ask, were you born in Italy?
Nope, I wasn't. I was born in London, but to a Canadian mother, so I don't have a British accent anymore. Uh, and actually, I'm an English teacher part-time, so
Whoa,
I
that's
need to
cool.
know. Yeah, I need to know how the grammars and the pronunciation rules and the stuffs work.
Yeah, I get English. Man, that is dope. That's
Thank
dope.
you.
And especially being able to find the time to go ahead and do your passion, right? And that's always interesting. Um, English teacher, huh? What made you decide to go into that route?
Well, I used to do a lot of babysitting work because,
Okay.
needed money. And there was this one time in which one of the kids that I was babysitting, they were here in the area just for the summer, but they lived in San Diego. And the mother asked me if I could help her son improve his spelling because his spoken English was perfect, but because he had did most of his schooling in Italy, he did not know how to spell English words at all. And so she asked me if in the hours where I was taking care of him, I could help him with English spelling. And I enjoyed it. And then I pursued that.
Nice, man. That's so interesting. I'm gonna say you're probably about the third or fourth teacher I've had on here. As an
It's
artist.
surprising. It's surprising to see, like even like in various artist communities that I'm in, how many are not just teachers, but specifically English teachers. It's like there's so many.
No, I mean it's cool. I'm always one for teachers, for teaching as well. Although I don't do it, my wife, she's always telling me, "Hey, you should get into teaching." I was like, I don't know if I have the patience for it anymore. Um, but it does go a long way, and you guys are teaching the next generation. So, big
Not
kudos
really. I'm
to.
teaching adults.
Or okay, you're teaching the old generation how to get onto the program, the modern
Pretty
program,
much.
right? That's awesome.
Mostly adults. Yeah.
Well, they were once the new generation. Let's put it that way.
The current generation.
Right, right, right. No, that's so interesting. Thank you so much for all of that stuff. Um, Now let's get into a little favorites game. This is a game where, we get to know you just a little bit more. You know what I mean? Fast pace. Just give me the first answer that pops into your head. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
What is your social security? No, I'm just joking.
We don't have social security numbers in Italy. That's an American thing.
Oh, there you go. Well, I feel like a sucker on that one. No, but seriously, favorite food that you enjoy?
Ribs.
Oh man, that's a good one. I'm gonna get hungry after this. Favorite music?
Lo-fi.
Lo-fi.
Jazz. Indie rock.
Man, okay, there you go. See, specifics, people, specifics. This is what we like to see here. Favorite comic, if you have it, comic book series, besides your own.
This is difficult because I read a lot of mostly web comics online. Cursed Princess Club.
Cursed
Princess Club.
A Cursed Princess.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What about your favorite artist? Yeah, it could be a current one, deceased, doesn't matter. One of the old masters.
Fuck, what was his name? I'm thinking Casanova, but it's not Casanova. Canovazza? Fucking something. He was a sculptor.
Oh, shit.
He did the Eros and Psyche sculpture that is also at the Louvre.
Okay. Sweet. Well, we'll put that as a question mark.
I can't even remember his name.
Don't worry. Halfway down the interview, it's gonna pop in. Trust me, it happens all the time. Mm-hmm. If you were an element, earth, wind, water, or fire, which one would you be?
Wind.
Favorite color?
Brown.
Ooh, nice. That's the first. That's the first brown I've ever gotten.
Okay.
And the last one, your favorite part of the process when it comes down to doing art?
Posting.
Oh, snaps. Yeah. Once it's all tied together, right?
Mm-hmm. And finally start getting reactions from people.
Okay.
Comments,
sweet.
likes, new subscribers.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, that's always a plus, y'all. And hopefully you get some more, not just from our viewers, but those people viewing later in the future, like yourselves.
No, wait, just one. Two is bad luck.
Is it? I never knew that.
Here it is.
So what is it then? 2 or 3?
1 is good luck. 2 is like a jinx.
Oh, snaps. Well, there you go, guys. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. You know what motivates you when it comes down to art?
Well, I've been doing it so long now that it's mostly like a habit, kind of. Like I do it because I've been doing it so long. It's part of my nature at this point to create. So I guess that I do it because it's what I do and what I enjoy doing. Though if like I need a source of motivation, normally it's and I know this doesn't come up very often, but it's kind of like affection for my characters. Because if I don't bring the story forward, if I don't make it continue, no one will. And my characters will be sad and miserable for the rest of their lives. So I do it for them pretty much.
Awesome. I love that answer. I really do. how do you balance now since you are a teacher and stuff? How do you balance that life between being an artist and having like your personal life there?
Well, I only work part-time, and I always
Okay.
insist with all of my employers that my availability is only part-time. So technically, I'm currently working for multiple schools, but like I only do a handful of hours with each of them a week, so that I always have time for my comics. So I make sure to have at least 3 or 4 afternoons or 3 or 4 mornings available in my week minimum to work on my comic and be able to move it forward.
Mm, okay. All right. Hey, that's pretty dope. I could kind of relate. I used to do IT work. I got my career in IT and stuff, but I recently got in a job, um, cooking. That allows me to kind of be like you and kind of balance my art life since trying to pick up this whole artist thing, right, and go full time and stuff. So I get that. Cool stuff. Great stuff, Nina. Um. I gotta ask too before we get just a little later in the show. Ninaqueenbee, where does that come from?
Ooh, it's kind of a cringy story.
Oh, we love cringy stories here.
When I was 15, um, I played video games a lot. And I used to play in this server on Gary's Mod, where there was this girl who was an absolute bitch. I hated her guts so much because she was the classic bitchy tits out pick me person. And like I am absolutely against, like women tearing down women because female
Mm.
empowerment is important and we must support each other. But she was such a bitch. I
Oh
hated
my
her
god.
guts so much. And so this one time, like I had like literally just started dating one of the people whom we played with, and like literally just started, and like the next day, and like she didn't know this, but the next day she told the person I was dating at the time that she had feelings for him, and it
Oh.
pissed me off. And so
Oh wow.
I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to log in with a different name so she doesn't know it's me. And I chose Queen Bee because I was like feeling possessive and a bit jealous at the time. And then I was like, oh, this is a nice name. And so it kind of stuck.
Nah, Queen Bee. I like that. I like that. I like that. It sounds like a sweet, sweet story of revenge. I love it. I love revenge stories. Now that's interesting. That's pretty cool. Now that's a story, y'all. See, this is how it's done. You know, when y'all come in, you gotta have some great stories like that. If not, don't even bother contacting me. No, I'm just joking. Feel free to contact me. No, that's cool. I definitely dig that. Um, you know what? Let's get a little bit into Sunrise Blossom. That's why you're here and stuff. To
Mm-hmm.
promote. First off, like you said earlier in the show, the Kickstarter went extremely well.
Is
Uh,
going extremely well because it's still ongoing.
you're right. See that's the teacher in you, right? You gotta
But
correct me. You gotta correct me. But yes, you're right. It is going extremely well. And I recommend everybody else who's listening, now or in the future, definitely go back and check out Sunrise Blossom right there at Webtoon. Simple,
mm-hmm.
just go to webtoon.com, type in Sunrise Blossom. And if you guys are hearing before the cutoff date, which is in about 30 days, 29 days, then make
Mm-hmm.
sure you guys go back and support. It's the Kickstarter. There's a bunch of different tiers there. I Love the Story, Volume 1, crazy cliffhanger, and I read some of the first few pages for the Volume 2. Whoa! You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Whoa! Awesome. I don't want to say anything else. I'm afraid I'm going to spoil some stuff. But yeah, I definitely love that reunion. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. No, no, nothing, nothing crazy there. Um, Sunrise Blossom. Tell us how did you come up with the concept, and the name? I love to know that as well.
Well, the concept came out when I was in my second year of comic school. Because back then we had almost exclusively drawn in a realistic or semi-realistic style, and during our second year they wanted to, and in our second year they wanted to kind of thrust us out of our comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
Here, I've also got the cover for the first volume. No, I sound like the first volume itself here. So they wanted to thrust us out of our comfort zone by having us draw something in a more grotesque or cartoony style. So something, oh, thank you. So something more like, I don't know, Asterix and Obelix, Cartoon Network, and stuff like that. And that, which is why I also knew the beginning of the story, the art is a little bit more rough than it is at the current point. And so they gave us this assignment, and I had this cute idea of this woman driving in the night, singing, minding her own business, and she accidentally hits a falcon with her car while driving. She goes to the falcon, she calls the vet, but the vet is away, can't answer. So she brings the bird home and says, I'll take you to the vet tomorrow, pretty much. So she goes to bed, and the next morning she wakes up with a half-naked harpy in her bed. And I kind of fell in love with the concept. And so when I finished the comic that I was working on at the time, which was Our Name Was Maya, which was my very first comic, I started to go into this one, pretty much, because I liked it so much. And the name, it took me so long to think of a name, like literally weeks of brainstorming with friends. And in the end, I went with Sunrise Blossom, mainly because the name kind of has like a soft vibe with it, but also both the sunrise and the flower blooming, like a blossom, both represent the coming of age of the main character, because, you know, it's the start of something new and her blooming into adulthood. And also, Blossom is her family nickname.
Yes.
And it's one of the things that only her mother calls her, and we see this near the beginning and in a couple of flashbacks. And there is another scene which gives reason to the story, but to the title. But it's a minor scene that hasn't happened just yet, and I don't want to spoil anything.
Yes, please don't. Yeah, I want to get caught off guard. I love this stuff. You know, this is love talking to you, love talking to artists and your projects and stuff, and a bunch of like comic creators. You know what I mean? Love supporting y'all. Yeah, I definitely love supporting y'all as well, and going back. So I got some comics coming in the mail. You know, I got like 3 or 4. I think you're like the 4th one. You're the first one of the year that I've supported. So.
Oh, awesome!
Awesomeness. I can't say
sauce.
Yes. I can't say more good stuff than that. But you know, there's some of your.
That was my art versus artist for 2021.
That is so dope. You know what? And we'll get back, because I forgot to ask about being like traditional and digital, right? So we'll get back to that, but let's talk a little bit more about Sunrise Blossom here.
So if you like girls kissing, if you like harpies, if you like big birds, if you like drama, then you are going to like Sunrise Blossom. So yeah. No,
I was about to say for sure. Definitely.
So to give a bit of a more official pitch, Sunrise Blossom is a coming-of-age story, as you mentioned at the beginning, of Ivy, a young falcon harpy abandoned by her birth mother and raised by a family of owls. While traveling with her sister to learn about human culture, they have an argument and they are separated, only until Ivy is picked up by a human woman, Violet, who helps her discover herself and bloom into womanhood. But it is only after a dramatic turn of events that Ivy discovers her romantic feelings for her human companion. And after the dramatic and traumatic events of Volume 1, Volume 2 starts with Ivy spending some time with a kind, fatherly, sexy Scottish old man. And she believes she may have finally found a father figure until his true daughter comes back. And it is then that Ivy must return to her romantic interest.
Indeed. And the guy that one what's that? What I'm looking for? He's one hunk of a guy. Makes me want to grow my beard out. Let's put it that way. You know what I mean? As soon as I saw that, I went like this. You know, I was like, oh man. No, my wife, she'll kill me. She's like, no, don't grow your beard out.
Aww.
She's like, I'll cut it at night while you're sleeping. I'm like, oh, gee, thanks.
Oh, dear.
She's one of them crazy ones, you know? Don't mess with them. Tell us more about, like, character design, you know? I know many artists, especially those who are pursuing the whole comic creator career, right? That whole path.
Mm-hmm.
There's usually a lot of, like, and this is something that not just comic creators in general, just artists in general, right? When they were trying to come up with characters, designing is one of the hardest parts. How did you go about it? And do you have any tips for character designing?
Well, the way that I went around for my main character's character design is that there was a lot of trial and error changes, a lot of looking at references, looking at other sources for inspiration, see what you think is cool, what you think would work, and reusing them or like manipulating them, changing them, molding them into something that is yours, because that's how inspiration also works. And the way that I went around with my main character's design is that initially I was like, I spent hours and hours researching different falcon species to see what looked cool, but also something that was like local to the area that I'm most familiar with, which is like the general Europe area. And I found this bird, the Vespertinus falcon, the red-footed falcon, or the cuckoo falcon, which I think looked really cool. And so I tried to base part of her character design on that. I wanted her to be cute, but also sexy, sensual, but not like aggressively, you know, boobs, like still innocent looking, like comforting looking. The hair is something that I struggle with a lot. Like I changed it so many times because initially I wanted something to have like a feathery look.
Okay.
But that was like, it was incredibly hard to recreate faithfully. So like every single time that I redrew her with like a feathery look kind of hair, it was like a completely different person. And so a lot of trial and error. And one of the most important things, you know, aside from inspiration, trial and error, when it comes to character design, is understanding the color theory and how to apply color theory, not only to the character, but how the character's palette relates to the characters around her. So like my main character has bright orange hair, green eyes, and there's a bit of balance between the warm and cold and the mostly warm gray wings. While the female lead, the main love interest, has mostly cooler colors with dark hair, blue eyes, and clothes that are normally darker and cooler in tones so that they can kind of complement each other most of the time. And aside from understanding how to apply color theory to the characters and their surroundings, there's always the importance of balance when it comes to designs. So like if you have one character with a rounder face, then have like their partner or sidekick have like a longer face, you know, like the classic, you know, like long versus short, circle versus triangle versus square, you know, have like different shapes to the characters and their body types. and have that also complement their personality and their relationship to the other characters and their relationship to the story itself. And yeah, there's a lots of similar rules when it comes to character design. But, even if you know all the rules, you know all the theory, in the end, it does also come to a lot of trial and error and figuring out what you think and what you feel works best.
Nice. That's great. Hopefully y'all were taking notes. And if you weren't, then hey, we got the video saved for you. Just make sure you go back. But before that, make sure y'all give Ninaqueenbee a follow. That's Nina.Queen.B a follow, creator of Sunrise Blossom. And while you're there, make sure y'all hit that little tree link in the bio and go ahead and follow her everywhere else, right? Facebook, Twitter, Discord, and much, much more, man. There's so many to name. And for sure, make sure you guys are heading over to that Kickstarter, head up Sunrise Blossom, and help support, not just there, but go to webtoon.com, Sunrise Blossom, and go ahead and read Volume 1. Very, very interesting story. If you guys like the whole fantasy and romance stuff, you definitely love this stuff. Definitely love the book. You know what? It just hit me that, you mentioned that you like the whole Twilight, right? And that kind of got you into it. So is there a reason for, the human and the animal kind of conversion there?
I had not thought of that at all, but you are absolutely right.
You know what I mean? Because
Definitely.
the wolf, he transforms from animal to man, and your book deals a lot with that type of fantasy stuff.
Yeah, and ever since then, I've always had like a lot of interest in particularly fantasy and romance series that have like this type of, like half animal trope. One of the reasons why I even decided to do Sunrise Blossom and the reason why I enjoy, like these half-bird characters so much is because of a series called, and I don't know if you know this, Daily Life with Monster Girls.
No.
And it's a Japanese series, and it's normally the type of series that I abhor more than anything because it's a harem series, and I normally absolutely hate harem series. And there's a lot of women in that series, and they're all heavily sexualized and objectified, but they're all so pretty. And the character designs are so gorgeous, and their voices are so nice, and their character songs are so pleasant. I just really, really like them. And so, cool. Like, the passion that I had, not for the series, but for the characters, also pushed me to create my own harpy love story.
Okay, see, now we're getting somewhere, right? We're getting to that whole the whole subconscious kind of stuff here, where our art and our loves for it come from. That being said, I also gotta ask: is there a spirit animal of some sorts that you might want to relate to, or that you could relate to if you were to be able to transform? Bears.
Bears. Ooh. I really like bears. If I die, when I die, it'll be most certainly because I want to pet a bear.
Oh, okay. It's like, hey, what happened to Nina? I don't know. She must have got close to a bear or something.
Yeah, that trip to the zoo did not end well.
Oh, no. On local news, local girl. No, yeah. That's interesting. Hey, that's cool.
What about you?
Panda bears. Yeah,
pretty close then.
Yeah, very, very close. That kind of I got to do some shameless plugs here. if for everybody following me, first off, we are episode 133 with a guest, Nina D. Aberlein, creator of Sunrise Blossom. You guys could always find her here at nina.queen.b. So make sure y'all following. If not, then y'all doing yourself a disservice. But anybody that knows me, all my followers, I have someone called Panda Zim. That is my character. I pretty much, it's a little panda that I drew up last year, and I pretty much put him in comic book covers, you know what I mean? And I just ended up getting a bunch of little mini prints for my little comic book covers. So,
Aww.
It's all bear related. It's
Oh, got even a laughing joke one. That's nice.
Yeah, there we go.
Not laughing joke, the killing joke. The killing joke.
So I pretty much grabbed my bear but now I got these cool little mini cover prints. You know what I mean?
Those are so cool. And a brilliant idea too.
There you go. If you guys like Magneto. Magneto. So I got these for sale, and these are going to be coming up pretty soon. I got them ready for my next event. But yeah, that would be me. That would be the panda bear. Simply because during my life, I've always been this kid who's been quiet, right? I was a quiet one, very calm. But at the same time, I do have my limits, right? Just like a panda bear, they're cute, they're calm. But if you poke it long enough, it'll rip your arm off. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's neither here nor there, though. Don't poke the bear. So
you should tell me that at least 3 times, and I probably won't listen either way.
You know what? You remind me of that those videos where have you seen it where there's like the little bear and he kind of gets up and he waves at the people and the people just like throw him a slice of bread and the little bear just catches it in his mouth? Yeah. I could see you throwing the slice of bread, Nina.
I could see myself throwing myself there, but never mind that.
So back to Sunrise Blossom. Tips on getting started. I know a lot of people, a lot of artists, they usually have that. They don't know where to start, right? Is there any tips for getting started on your own series?
Start small. So a series that is no more than 10 pages, I'd say, mostly because I see artists start like a big series that they think is going to be their magnum opus and it's their very first series, and they burn out and lose interest within like 4 or 5 months. So start small, because if you start with a smaller project, like a one-shot, maybe a fan comic, something that is easier to handle, like no more than 10 pages for the very first project, then you become more familiar both with the process and how you prefer personally to handle the process. And if it's smaller, it's more manageable and it doesn't feel as overwhelming as delving into a 10-year, 1,000-page project. So start small, gather experience, and then, when you finish with that 10-page comic, pat yourself on the back. You were able to finish something, and that is more than most people can say. And then you can start next with maybe a 30 or maybe a 50-page comic. And then maybe around that point, if you're able to bring that to completion, at that point you're also more used to the process and you are more used to the balancing, work and regular life, and you are more used to including it in your, if not your everyday life, then like how to do it regularly. And then I'd say it would be a good idea to even start something bigger. But if you don't start with something small, you're going to, I'm not saying it's absolutely always like this, but there's a very high chance that you'll fly too close to the sun and burn out and lose all interest rather quickly.
There you go. Great stuff. Great advice. And like I said, y'all, for anybody watching, if you have any questions, feel free to use that question bubble below so we could go ahead and share that with the viewers. Um, no, but that's thank you, Nina, for that. That's pretty great stuff. Um, I've also noticed that you had some music on some of one of your latest videos and stuff, your post.
Hmm.
Ben Sound. How is that like? How do you go about finding the music for this, or finding the person, right, to create this music for you?
Well, commissioning someone to write music for you is very expensive. Especially if maybe they are someone with experience who know what they're doing and can create good stuff. And like if you're already pretty big, if you already have like thousands of followers and like you know that if you launch a campaign you're going to get thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, then go for it. Commission someone professional to do something perfect that fits your project. If not, there are many websites, both free and uh, with a small license to pay, that offer royalty-free music.
Mm,
So both with my first campaign and with this campaign, I turned to royalty-free music, where pretty much some of them are free to use for everyone. Some of them maybe I had to pay like $20, and then I could use as many times as I wanted, as long as I credited the artist, of course.
hmm.
And that is how many smaller creators who like need to make trailers and stuff come by with music, because commissioning musicians can be very, very expensive, but there's a big, very big library of royalty-free music that is also, of creators, and the money still goes to them and the recognition goes to them because you're not the only person using that song. And
Okay.
though because also there's like a lot of royalty free songs, there's a very small chance of like people recognizing the song from another place, but the money still goes to the creator, which is good, but it doesn't like burn a hole through your wallet.
There you go. There you go. Great stuff. Uh, Great tips. I'm digging that. Um, I don't think we touched on this, but do you attend like conventions and stuff like that to promote?
I did. Then
Oh, okay.
COVID-19 happened.
Oh
I
man.
actually signed up to a few more cons this year because they were starting to reopen. And I was going to have my very first con in 2 years, pretty much, next month.
Hmm.
And then a couple of weeks ago, I got a new email saying, "Hello, this convention was cancelled because the COVID numbers are
No.
going up again. So
No.
please, everybody, wear your goddamn masks because I want to go to conventions again."
Yeah, I heard it. Wear your goddamn mask. Sorry, Lord. Um, yeah, yeah. No, that's funny. Um, I mean, you know what? I'm attending a few this year as well, so hopefully, keep our fingers crossed that
Yeah, me too. I've
these
got a
damn
couple
numbers.
in April, and I'm really hoping they don't get cancelled. But also, I don't want to get Omicron. But also, I want to go.
No, that's cool. How was your experience with conventions? Uh,
Uh, because I had started going to conventions in early 2019. And so I had only roughly like 1 year of experience before everything was shut down. But also because I had only had 1 year of experience and I had been able to experience pretty much most of the cons in my area once. Um, some of them were good, some of them were bad, but all of them were a good learning experience. So what I learned is draw a lot of Elsa from Frozen and Ladybug from Miraculous Ladybug, so the children that walk by are always, "Mommy, Mommy, look, Elsa!" And then they emotionally manipulate their parents into stopping in front of your stall and looking at what you've got.
yes, yes. Especially Ladybug and Cat Noir. I love
Mm-hmm.
that stuff. Yeah, my
Me
daughter got
too.
me into that. I was like,
I'm
oh,
really enjoying it. There's a new episode coming out in 2 weeks, and I'm really looking forward to it.
oh my God. I I think I think season 2 hit sometime last year here in America. I haven't really gone through it at all, simply because my little one kind of outgrew that phase, but I kind of
Mm.
still kept on watching it. But that's
So
neither here nor there. Y'all didn't hear that
I
here.
follow it. I follow it because I like the character designs
Yeah,
mostly.
so did I. I love the whole little charm things and turning into all these characters and then the
Yeah,
box and
it's a comfort show.
yeah, it's pretty decent, pretty cool. I dig it. I actually think when I first started on Instagram, I did some fan art. I did some Ladybug. So yeah, yeah. Anyway, um, I noticed you also do commission work. Is that something that's still available for people if they want to reach out to you? And
Yes and no.
okay,
Normally, my commissions are closed unless specified otherwise.
mm-hmm.
But depending on the type of project, if you want to hit me up, like I can say, yeah, sure, I can do it, or no, sorry, I can't right now. But I do always have commissions open through Patreon. So some of my most popular tiers on Patreon is that everyone who pledges $10 or more gets a monthly commission worth that much. And most of them are accumulative. So like maybe 1 week I do like the very rough sketch. 1 month I do the very rough sketch. The next month I clean the sketch. The next month I start the line art. The next month I do the flat colors. The next month I start the rendering. The month after that I finish the illustration, pretty much. So those commissions I always have open, mostly because they're like monthly. They're easier for me to manage. But aside from that, normally I have commissions open, like maybe 3 or 4 slots at a time, but like I always advertise it everywhere. But I always advertise it in my Discord server first. So like last time I opened commission, like my very first round of like my very first round of like 3 or 4 slots of commissions were filled up by people in my Discord before I could even reach out to like Twitter and Instagram and stuff.
Okay. There you go. So if you guys want any commissions, there you go. That's the key. That's how you get commissions. Pretty interesting, cool stuff. I dig that too. Especially the whole Patreon idea.
Yeah, it's also something that most of my Patreons really enjoy because they get the illustrations they want. But because it's monthly installments, it doesn't cost too much for them immediately because they pay a bit for it each month.
Great idea.
So it's more comfortable.
Great. Yeah. Great idea. I love that. There you go for anybody wanting to open up Patreon and stuff like that and working with tiers. That's an idea.
Yeah,
I like that.
Most of my patrons don't even read my comic. They're just there for the commissions.
Oh, hey, whatever works, right?
Yeah.
Whatever works. It's a growing process, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
Since you do have commissions, I'm a big fan of commission horror stories. Are there any commissions that have ever gone wrong? Have people ever, screwed you last minute or anything like that? Or
that has happened a lot when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
But I have learned to set firm boundaries and strict rules when it comes to me being commissioned. So first, like we agree on the concept. I prepare a very, very rough sketch that just like gives an idea of the pose and the expression. Then I send a PayPal invoice. I wait until it's paid.
There you
and
go.
then I continue with the commission, but I like share every single step of the process with the commissioner. So if there's anything they don't like or any detail they want to have fixed, I can fix it before it's too late. And so because it's like also that gradual step by step, And because I also set firm rules when it comes to like revisions and changes and things like that, I'm always like able to kind of like protect myself first.
Okay.
Though the most frustrating commissioners are those that don't answer or that forget. And so like every other day I have to message them like, hey, I sent the invoice, is everything okay? Or like, hey, I've got this rough sketch. Is everything okay? Shall I continue with it? Should I make any changes? And that is mostly frustrating because like even if I just like lose time and like lose the commission, it was only like maybe, I don't know, 15 minutes spent on the rough sketch, so it's okay.
Okay. All right. Well, that's not bad either. Yeah, and yeah, that kind of that sucks. And lesson learned, right? So I'm glad you've finally found your system there. I know I mentioned it, privately, but there's always this section that I have. It's called Josh's Tools. It's usually where we check out the artist tools that you guys use on a daily basis, right? That could be anywhere from traditional markers, pens, you name it, to your digital device, right? What about you, Nina?
Okay, so I'll switch my camera so I can show it.
Sweet.
So I've got a really bad neck. So I need to use this thing and this thing to hold my tablet up and as high as possible. And hold on. And this is the tablet that I work with most of the time. So it's a Wacom Cintiq 13 inches. I slaved off an entire summer just to buy this.
Yeah,
and it was worth it.
You got it.
It was
yes,
so worth
yes.
it.
You got it.
Yeah. And down here, so I do mostly digital, but I occasionally do traditional to relax. And here I have a mess of traditional tools. It's like here I've got my gouaches.
Is that your go-to? Is that your go-to, the gouache?
Recently, yeah. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to close the thing. There you go. Because it's really fun. But I also do like watercolors, a lot of inks I like to use. Like, there's like a lot of, it's just pretty messy.
Hey.
Opa. But yeah, like the feather for the freaking eraser, what's it called? Like the crumbs when you erase something. Crumbs. Yeah, exactly. Watercolors, brushes, erasers, like lots of stuff there. But my most trusty tool is my Wacom Cintiq tablet.
Awesome. Is it what application do you use on that?
Clip Studio Paint mostly.
Clip Studio. Nice.
Okay, now I gotta put my stuff away. And my cat's trying to jump in the drawers.
Oh.
Hey, Ebony. So yeah.
I dig that Clip Studio and Wacom. The 13-inch. Yeah, I was looking into those before I bought my tablet, but I was like, man, this is too expensive. How about I just
There's lots of cheaper alternatives. Like I got the Wacom Cintiq because when I got the tablet, like I wasn't really aware of alternatives. Because when I got my first tablets in like, I don't know, 2012, 2011 or so, Wacom was like the only reliable art tablet company. But these days there's like the Huion, which is just as good, if not even better sometimes, and a lot more affordable.
Okay. As far as the app, the Clip Studio, is there a reason for Clip Studio, or what about any other ones?
Oh, it's the best. It's the best. Honestly, if you've got other ones, okay. But Clip Studio,
that's where it's at.
Yeah, it's got like freaking everything. It's like if you were to mix every single other art program into one, you've got Clip Studio.
Okay.
And
I signed up for Clip Studio, but I usually use Autodesk or Sketchbook. Yeah, so
not like on mobile.
on a tablet. Yeah, it's is it the mobile one? I think it would be the mobile one, right?
Yeah, I use that for sketching sometimes. Like on my portable work tablet, which is not my drawing tablet, but it's like the tablet that I use for work because it's got like videos and stuff, which is useful. And I use that a lot for sketching. But Clip Studio is in my opinion like so much better. Like one of the amazing things that it has that pretty much none of the other art programs have is the 3D assets and the asset store. So like if there's a particular brush that you want, if maybe you want to like, I don't know, a brush that does like water drops, or a brush that like shows cracks in the walls, or like a brush that's like a pattern for a shirt, pretty much anything. Like if you don't want to like spend hours manually doing it, then you can like search it in the Clip Studio asset store, and like most of them are free, and it is so easy, and it's so shit, sorry, my cat. She stepped on my
she wants to be a camera. She's trying to control the camera. Oh.
So yeah, the Clip Studio asset store is like one of the best things about it.
Sweet. Blackjack Davy says Clip is the best. We got Adam. He says he used XP Pen and it's great.
Yeah, XP Pen. I think that's one of the Huion products.
Okay. Sweet.
Or maybe it's like another brand, but I don't remember.
Sweet. That's good to know. Is as far as like your whole traditional, is there anything or any type of tools that you don't really recommend using or not for you? Maybe more specifically like brands and stuff, you know?
Oh, brands? I wouldn't really know because I'm kind of a slut for Winsor & Newton. They're like one of my favorite brands for art products in general. They're really expensive, but they're really good. Their quality is undeniably good. Though, as someone who does mostly digital and occasionally does traditional when I have free time and I want to relax a little bit, I'm not really into oil painting because it requires a lot of tools and it takes a long time to dry and it smells. And so I prefer either gouache or acrylic. Though acrylic has like that plasticky almost look that I'm not a big fan of, though it is like more resistant. And I'm really enjoying gouache. Like I started experimenting with gouache last year and I'm really liking it.
Awesome stuff. Let's see, what else? I had a question from Blackjack Davy, one of the viewers. He has, I love this question. He asked it to every guest, so don't feel offended. He asks, would you eat a handful of spiders if it gave you superpowers?
Okay, between us and the viewers, but between us. I am currently reading a monster erotic novel, and the male is a giant spider man. So if you ask me to eat spiders in this period, my answer is a hard yes, even if it didn't give me powers.
There you go, Davey. You got your answer. Okay, let's say you did get the powers. What would they be?
Ooh. Oh, that is so hard. I guess transforming would be cool, but then it might have like a negative impact on my feeling of self-worth. Teleportation would be cool.
Ooh, that's a good one.
But then it would also make like exploring parts of the world less interesting. Flying would be cool, but I feel that I get tired of it relatively quickly. I'd say maybe Hmm. Manipulating matter seems fun. Manipulating matter.
Whoa.
So kind of stuff that like I don't know, that like this phone case, and like I can like manipulate the atoms and turn it into whatever I want. Like kind of
That'll be cool.
Like Adam Eve from Invincible, I guess.
Yeah, that's dope. I dig that. And that's what a great show, man.
Oh,
I
it
love
is.
it.
I can't wait for season 2. Oh.
Yeah, me too. Me too. And Blackjack Davy says, "Oh, giant Spider-Man." Sweet, sweet. I like that. And yeah, I just want to say, first off, well, not first off, everybody else, all the people viewing, make sure to get your questions in here,
Mm-hmm.
because definitely great, great guests. And for those that don't know, it's talking to Nina D. Aberlein, creator of Sunrise Blossom. You guys could find her here on Instagram at nina.queen.b, and make sure y'all go into the bio. Check out her bio. She got all the links there. She is everywhere in the world, right? Uh,
Yeah, pretty much.
we got a question from Adam. Hopefully, I'm not butchering the last name. Bojo. Um, Adam asks, at what point of skill do you think an aspiring artist should start trying to sell their work?
I think you should start from as soon as you feel a little bit confident. And it might not work at first. It might be like very difficult to like, sell your stuff or like even like find people to commission you. But keep practicing, keep studying, like studying theory, whether it's color theory, anatomy, perspective, composition, clothing. Keep studying, keep practicing. Of course, I mean, I know that sounds like a broken record, but it's true. And when it gets to a certain level where it's good enough, you'll start noticing because people will start reacting to it a little bit more. But unless you put yourself out there, then there's no real way of knowing because people's preferences on things like that are very subjective. Like, for example, there are artists whose current skill level is maybe like a lot more rookier than my own, kind of. But because of maybe the type of material that they create, like maybe they do a lot of like erotic content, they got a lot more traction than I do, for example. So it's not just your skill, but it's also what you do and how you market it.
You took the words right out of my mouth. That's pretty much what I was gonna kind of what's that I'm looking for piggyback off of, right? Is
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely marketing. At what skill level? At the skill level where you are comfortable, where people see your work, right? There's a lot of artists,
Mm-hmm.
like Nina mentioned, at the lower levels, they're not quite confident in the work and they want to hone in on their craft prior to doing anything with it, either presenting or selling. But at the end of the day, whenever you feel comfortable, Adam, that's when you think you're ready. That's when you got to jump.
Yeah,
And
and
like,
there's also sorry.
uh-huh. No, go ahead.
And there's also a lot of like different creative ways of trying to approach things. Because often enough, if you just say, hey, my commissions are open, these are the prices, many people will not look at it unless you're like a relatively well-known artist. So, but if you do sell something like, hey, drawing you as a freaking Simpsons character, which always sells, and it pisses me off, but a lot of people like that, and people are like, oh, I did not know I wanted that until I saw that, and then there's a higher chance of people jumping in, and that's just an example.
Mm-hmm.
If you like maybe choose, I don't know, a specific niche or like a specific way to market your art, that also works more. So something like, I don't know, I'll draw you as an animal, or I'll draw you as a mermaid, or things like that.
Yeah, great advice. Great
Because
advice,
it,
Nina.
yeah, because it gives people an image of what the result would be. While if you just say my commissions are open, then people like have to think of what they want, and unless they already have something specific in mind, which is very rare, they might not answer or approach you because they don't think they want it. But if you give them a clear idea, then they're like, ooh, that's nice, I want one.
Yeah.
Same thing goes for conventions.
Okay. See, there you go. The homie Crystal Lake Confections is asking, how has your art style evolved from when you started to now? Great question.
I mean, I started with lame Naruto fan art, though that's the case with many people. And as a child of the late 90s, I started with how to draw manga tutorials, both in book form and online. So I guess I started like very near the beginning. If you look like beginner anime or like beginner manga art, that's what it was at the beginning. You know, like no understanding of muscles, anatomy, only frontal or profile perspectives.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Or like and only eye level perspectives. It was just really bad. But, you know, with continual regular study, practice, it got better. And now I don't have any examples on hand because I am using my phone to record this. But I think you showed some earlier from my Instagram page. So also, if you open my Instagram page, pretty much most of my art, I posted there, and it got a lot better throughout the years. Oh no, not the deer ass.
Oh,
that
the
was
deer
for like
ass.
20. I think that was for like 2020. It was a commission from a couple years ago. But yeah, most of my recent work is at the very beginning. In 2021, my art has improved a lot. Like I started experimenting a lot more with rendering and digital painting, and it's gotten a lot better. So yeah, from bad manga rookie art. Yeah, from bad rookie manga art, it's gotten a lot better. This one is the variant cover for the 4th volume of a friend of mine, Life on Korra 4, who actually launched his 5th volume 2 days ago.
Oh, wow.
On Indiegogo. Yeah, Life on Korra 5.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out the Indiegogo.
Mm-hmm.
How do you pronounce their name? Various Ascendant? This one there.
Maybe.
It says variant cover. I did it for Variant Ascendants.
Fairies and Dents. Fairies and Dents.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Great digital stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah, a little quick sketchy sketch.
Mm-hmm. That was it was one of the traditional pieces that I had for sale during my first crowdfunding campaign, and it was bought by a nice lady in the UK.
Aw, that's awesome. It's wearing the little suit there, the
little maid outfit.
Maid outfit, yeah. That's cute. I like that. Crystal Lake is also asking, where do you pull inspiration from for your artwork?
I mean, where does anyone pull inspiration from for their stuff? I mean, aside from a passion for, you know, like half human, half monstrous creatures, I have like that odd charm to them. Normally, inspiration comes from small things in everyday life. Like maybe you're just like chilling on the couch watching Netflix, and there's like, I don't know, a trope in the series that you're watching that's particularly inspiring. Or maybe you're like going out, you're out for a walk, you know, like getting some ice cream, it's chilly, and you see a cat crossing the road, and maybe that gives you an idea. So motivation comes from the small things that you don't expect, at least for me, that you don't expect from everyday life.
There you go. And Nina, I know we passed the hour, and I won't keep you long. Just one more question from me. What's
No rush.
next? What's next for Nina? What's next for Sunrise Blossom?
So the next month, I'm going to focus a lot more on the campaign. I'm going to be streaming a lot, both on various shows on Twitch. I'll be streaming a lot on Twitch. And I'll be focusing mostly on that. But the formatting for print, the translating, the cover design for the second volume is all ready. So as soon as the campaign ends and as soon as the money reaches my bank account, they'll be sent for print immediately. So anyone who backs the campaign should have their copy in the mailbox by April of this year.
Ooh.
And after that, I've already started working on the storyboards for the third volume. And bit by bit, I'm going to pick up on that too.
Nice. Definitely can't wait. You got a fan here, so yeah, I can't say nothing but great stuff about Sunrise Blossom. Make sure y'all go check it out, man. Check it out. It's really a cool little web series, and can't wait to get that physical copy. So awesomeness. And yeah, guys, I think that kind of wraps up the show, unless anybody has any last questions. But let's thank our guest, Nina D. Aberlein. Thank you so much, Nina, for joining us today. Great guest, amazing comic creator. Make sure you guys are checking her out, not just here at nina.queen.b, but also check out her link on her bio. You definitely get all the Linktree stuff, Patreon, Facebook, Discord, and everything else, right? And make sure you guys go follow her at the webtoon.com, Sunrise Blossom. And if you guys do like the series, please back up Volume 2 right there on the Kickstarter. So, great stuff. Thank you so much, Nina, for joining the show. I had a blast
today. Thank you
today.
for having me.
And, I just want to let you know and extend the reach. If you ever want to come back, promote it a little bit more, or talk about other stuff that we didn't get to, because it's fun picking your brain. So.
Thank you. Well,
Yeah.
I'll with the current rate that I've been producing in the past couple of years, I'll almost certainly be having a crowdfunding campaign to print volumes roughly every 7, 8, 9 months.
Okay.
So I'll definitely be contacting you again multiple times before the end of the year too.
No, for sure. And I just saying it now. Once we do get the physical copies, and I would love to have you back on and just talk about it, promote it a little bit more. So.
Yeah, definitely, because I'll already be in production for the third volume by then,
Nice.
which I'll be posting mostly on webtoonz for a while, and then as soon as it's ready, launch the campaign. But yeah, definitely.
Sweet stuff. And you heard it here first, y'all. So make sure y'all go following. Go definitely support. And as far as myself, if you guys love this content, please feel free to comment. Check me out on I was going to say the Facebooks. Check me out on the YouTubes at Chatting with Zim. You will find all of not just her, but all our previous guests and the archives there. Great little series. If you guys want to learn more about art, get some tips from artists. There's many on the list, over 130 episodes. So, just put it on in the background and start drawing a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. That's pretty much all I got. Shout out to everybody else. I know there's other people that do what I do. My brothers in arms. We got Live with Seven does this. The guys over at Dead and Laughing. Those are two of the guys, two clowns, as I like to call them, that go ahead and they interview artists as well. And then we got the Drawn Con Show. They take artists like yourself and they put them into 3 10-minute live sketches. So that's something
those are
interesting.
fun.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Do you ever want to promote yourself on? Let me know, and I'll tell these guys. I'll give a good word for you.
Oh yeah,
Um,
definitely, especially in this period.
Sweet. I'll definitely
So I'll
reach out
take your
to
word
them.
on it.
Cool, cool. I'll definitely
Thank
reach
you.
out and I'll let them know. I'll let them know that you're interested. Um, Aside from that, make sure you guys are following the family. We got Monsters Art Clan. That's the group of talented artists that I belong to. Right here on the Instagram, artist Monsters Art Clan. Um, Shout out to the Elusive Team. That's another great group of people there, great group of artists. And the little bro, Delanus, always helping me in the background. And yeah, definitely a great artist within his own right as well. So that's it.
Amen.
Yep, that is all. Nina, once again, thank you so much for your time. And
And thank you too.
yeah, thanks. It was a blast. I had a lot of fun. Take us out. Last words.
Stay excellent to each other.
There it is. Stay excellent to each other, y'all. Be cool. We're out till next time. Bye.
And wear your damned masks.
Wear your damn mask. I love that. That's going to be the title of the show. Great stuff. Later, y'all. Till next time.
Bye bye.